Welcome all. Today in architecture and town planning, we will get to know about the Western architecture, that is the contribution of the Egyptians, Greek and Romans towards their architectures. First about the Western architecture, that is a journey through the civilization, how from the monumental pyramids of the Egypt to the soaring domes of the Rome, Western architecture reflects the humanity enduring quest for the beauty, permanence and the meanings. So this presentation explores three fundamental civilizations about, that is Egyptian, Greek and the Romans, and the architectural innovations that shaped the built world of the for the millennia. So three civilization and one architectural legacy. So each civilization built upon the knowledge of those before it. So creating a cumulative tradition that still defines our city today. So first is the Egyptian, second one is the Greek, and third one is the Romans. So Egyptian is from the 3000 to 30 BCE, that is the monumental stones architecture, pyramids and obelisks and the temples aligned with the cosmic orders. So this is the monumental stone architecture is the main and pyramids is the main contribution of the Egyptians. And when it is coming to the Greek, that is 9000 to 146 BC, that is a classical orders, then mathematical proportion and marble temples and the sculptural decorations. So these are the contributions of the Greek. Then coming to the Romans, it is 753 BC to 476 CE, that is mainly of the arches, domes and concrete and the vast public infrastructure serving the civic life. So the Roman architecture did not repeat the Greek tradition. It observed it, combining Greek aesthetic ideals with the bold engineering to create something entirely very new. First one is the Egyptian architecture. So Egyptian civilization flourished along the Nile River, that is for over 3000 years. The architecture served three major purposes, that is three sacred purposes. First one is the honoring gods, and the second one is glorifying the pharaoh, and third one is preparing for the afterlife, because the Egyptian believed life continues even after death. So which leads to elaborate tomb construction and temples designed to last for their eternity. So every structure was an act of the devotion, built not only for living alone but for also the gods and the after the death. So next comes the characteristics of the Egyptian architecture. So first one is the monumental scale, and second one is the stone construction, then massive walls and columns, and hieroglyphic decorations. So in case of monumental scale, so buildings were designed to overwhelm and inspire wow, and that is the pyramids remain the largest stone structure ever built by hand. Next is coming to the stone construction. Limestone, granite and sandstone provided externally durability. So many structures survive in fact intact after 4500 years. Coming to the massive walls and columns, so thick sloping walls supported heavy stone roofs, and the column drew inspired from the lotus, Pyrus and the palm plants. So next is about the decorations. Walls were covered in the carved religious text and painted scenes and symbolic imaginary communicating divine authorities. So these are the main characteristics of the Egyptian architecture. So in this Egyptian architecture, the major building types was pyramid, that is royal tombs and temples, houses of the gods, and obelisks, that is symbolic monuments, and tombs and the places. And coming to the strength and limitations of it, extremely durable stone craftsmanship and strong religious and symbolic power, then heavy structures with limited interior space, few window openings required enormous labors, that is extremely extremely durable stone, and the symbolic power is the strength. Whereas coming to the limitations, the heavy structure, so there will be only limited interior space and also only very few window openings. So next, that is one of the Egyptian architecture, that is the Great Pyramid of Giza, right? So that is built around 2580 BCE for the Pharaoh Khufu, that is the Great Pyramid, is the largest of the three Giza pyramids and the only surviving wonder of the ancient world. So constructed from an estimated 2.3 million limestone blocks. So this consists of 2.3 million limestone blocks. So it's originally stood 146 meters tall. Its base is aligned with extraordinary precision to the cardinal directions. So coming to the internal complexity, so hidden chambers, that is descending passageways and the grand gallery revolve sophisticated spatial plannings. Then Egyptian column types include, that is lotus, papyrus and palm columns. These types are the main column types where the Egyptian used for their architecture. So each capital shaped to resemble its plant inspiration. Next is about the Greek architecture. Greek architecture, that is Greek architects pursued perfection through the mathematics. They used mathematics as the main concern in order to bring perfection to their buildings. So beauty was not arbitrary. It was the result of the precise ratios and symmetry and an idealized human proportion. So Greek temples were not designed for worship, but as the sacred houses for the gods and meant to be experienced from the outside as the sculptural object in the landscapes. And the Greeks established an architectural language of orders that would be studied and imitated for over 2000 years. So they used mathematics in order to bring very precise and very good proportionate buildings. So here comes the three Greek orders. So one is the Doric order, next one is the Ionic order and Corinthian orders. So first one in that there is a simplest and the most robust style. So this is a thick columns with no base and a plain capital. Next, coming to the Ionic order, it is more slender and the graceful with the distinctive base and the scroll-like qualities on the capital, that is suggest refinements and the elegance. Then coming to the next one, it is most decorative order, so crowned with an elaborate leaf capitals and widely adopted and expanded by the Romans. Next is about the Roman architectures. So first we have shown about the Egyptian architecture, second one is the Greek, and third one is the Roman architecture. So the Roman architectures married Greek aesthetic ideals with unprecedented engineering ambitions. So where the Greeks built for the gods and the Roman built for the peoples. So constructing amphitheaters and baths, aqueducts and forums that served public life at a massive scale. So that is Greek mostly contributed towards the building for the gods, but Romans built for their peoples. So that is the invention of the Roman concrete. So using volcanic pozzolana ash. So liberated architects from the limitations of the stone, enabling domes, walls and the arches of the astonishing sizes. Next, Roman engineering marvels, that is first one is the Colosseum and second one is the Pantheon. So Colosseum, that is a Roman's great amphitheater, that is a 78 is built during 70 to 80 CE, seated with a 50,000 spectators. That is, it's a system of these sacred arches, then concrete construction and underground passageways allowed efficient crowd movements. So a marvel of the logistical engineering. Coming to the Pantheon, so that is completed around 126 C, that is a 46 meter dome, remained the world's largest for over 1300 years. Next, key Roman innovations, that is they mainly contributed in the arches, walls and the domes. Then introducing the or inventing the Roman concrete, that is infrastructure. In arts, so distributes weight efficiently, spanning wider openings than post and the lintel systems. So walls and domes barrel that is covered vast interior spaces without internal columns. Then Roman concretes, Pozzolana-based concrete was stronger and more versatile than the stone, enabling bold new forms. Infrastructure, adequate roads and bridges connected and sustained an empire spanning 3 continents. So, this is the legacy of how the Egyptian, Greek, and Roman shaped our world. So that is how the civilization shaped our worlds. So that is first about the Egyptian contributed towards by giving the monumentally, then stone construction, axial planning, so seen in memorials and obelisks. So then seen in memorials and the obelisks, that is next about the Greeks, that is classical orders. They followed the classical orders, symmetry and greater proportion, so seen in government buildings or banks and universities. Then in terms of Romans, so concrete, arches, domes, walls, so mostly seen in the stadiums and civic infrastructures. So these are the contributions of their Egyptians, Greek and Romans towards the civilization. Thank you.